Okay, today we're going to talk about the uses of por and para. They are not interchangeable. They both can mean for, but they have other uses as well. So we're going to start with por and an exchange or a replacement. So this is when you're giving something for something else. For example, te doy $5 por el libro. I'm giving you $5 and we're making an exchange. I give you $5, you give me the book. The next example, la falda te queda mal, debes cambiarla por otra más pequeña. So that skirt fits you badly, you should switch it for a different one. Okay, so por meaning for an example, for an exchange or replacement. Another use of por is in the place of someone else. So it's kind of like a replacement again. So estoy enferma hoy. Puedes enseñar la clase por mí. So I can't do it. I need somebody to do it for me in my place. The second example, mi madre está ocupada, entonces voy a cocinar por ella. I'm going to cook for her. So here, she typically does it, but since she's not feeling well, I'm going to do it in her place. Por can also be used to say through something. So if you're passing through a place, for example, el tren pasa por la estación, pero no para. It passes through the station, but it doesn't stop. Another example is el primer día de nuestras vacaciones, caminaremos por la ciudad. So you're walking around the city, through the city, just going through it to arrive somewhere else. Por can also be used as the method or means of completing an action. So siempre entro por la puerta, aunque un día un estudiante entró por la ventana. I always use the door to enter the room, but one day a student entered through the window. True story. Also, por favor, entreguen la tarea por correo electrónico. So your means of handing in the homework is an email. Por can also be used to talk about the general location of something or to say around here. So your example that we have, por aquí, is around here. So hay un basurero por aquí, tengo chicle, y no puedo masticarlo en la clase. So is there a garbage can around here, the general location? We're going to also use por to talk about how long an event occurs. So if you're talking about the duration of event, the time frame. Limpiaremos la playa por una hora y después nadaremos. Okay, so we will clean the beach for an hour and then we will swim. Estaré en Perú por 2 semanas. So it'll be there for 2 weeks, the duration of an event. The next use of por is the cause or reasoning of something. So if you want to say because of, we're going to use por. Our examples here, el efecto invernadero empezó por la disminución de la capa de ozono. The greenhouse effect started because of the diminishment, the decrease in the ozone layer. Also, iremos a este restaurante. Sorry, we need an E there. Por el arroz con pollo. We'll go to that restaurant for the chicken and rice. So the reason that we go to that one restaurant is the chicken and rice. We're also going to use por with gracias. So in order to say thank you, and remember it's gracias por with the infinitive. Le dije gracias a mi madre por darme todo lo que necesito. I said thank you to my mom for giving me everything I need. And then, gracias por venir a mi fiesta. Thanks for coming to my party. There's also some fixed phrases that we're going to use with por. You have seen a lot of these already in class. So we have por eso, therefore, or that's why. Por ejemplo, for example. Por desgracia is unfortunately. Por lo menos is at least. Por otro lado, on the other hand. Por fin, finally. You can also say finalmente, but if you wanted to use por fin, that's an option. And por si acaso is just in case. So those are all of our uses for por. Now we're going to move on to the uses of para. So para is going to be used for whom something is done or for the recipient. Las mejores notas son para los estudiantes que entienden más. Hice un pastel para ti porque es tu cumpleaños. So here, the recipients of the best grades are those that understand the most. And I made a cake for you because it's your birthday. So here, you are the recipient of the cake, as opposed to por, which would be used if I was making the cake in your place, if you were unable to do it. We also use para for a destination. So if we have a specific destination in mind, we can use para. Vamos para la playa este fin de semana, and iremos para España el próximo verano. Remember that a lot of times we can also use a to say to. We're going to the beach, or we will go to Spain. So this para can also be used as a instead. Para is also going to be used whenever you want to say for, and for is meaning in order to. Tengo que estudiar más para pasar el examen, in order to pass the test, okay? And el equipo llega temprano a la escuela para levantar pesas. The team gets to school early in order to lift weights. We're going to use para to talk about who you work for as well. For example, Señora Garcia trabaja para Trinity Prep. That's who I work for. And mi madre trabajaba para un hombre muy simpático. And then simpático should have an accent. I'm sorry. Okay, so she works for a really nice man. He is her boss. The next use is going to be an opinion. So whenever you could say in my opinion or in our opinion, it's going to be para with the prepositional pronoun. Para nosotros, la clase de español es la mejor. For us, Spanish class is the best, obviously. Para mí, el fútbol americano es el deporte más interesante. For me, or in my opinion, football is the most interesting sport. Next, we have para as a comparison or to contrast something. So, para un niño, él es muy alto. For a child, he is very tall. You're comparing him to everybody else that is a child. So he might not be a tall person for an adult, but for a child, he is tall. Also, hablas el español bien para alguien que no es nativo. You speak Spanish well for someone who isn't native. Okay, so I'm comparing you here with everybody that is a non-native speaker, and I'm saying you speak well for someone who is not native. Our last use of para is going to be a deadline. So tendremos que hacer el proyecto para el viernes, and hago la tarea para mañana. So that's the deadline when something is due. Finally, last part is the fixed phrases that we use with para. So para siempre means forever. Para que sepas is just so you know, and sepas is the to form. So if you wanted to use you all, it would be para que sepan, just so you all know. No estar para bromas. If you conjugate estar, hoy no estoy para bromas. I am not in the mood for jokes today. And then para nada is going to be for nothing or at all. Yo no quiero hacer la tarea para nada. I don't want to do it at all. And that is the end of our video. Please come to class with any questions on the uses of por and para tomorrow.